Have you noticed you get a lot of these in criminal justice classes? We're always putting y'all in somebody else's shoes. Here's a scenario, here's a scenario. Well, the reason why is we are trying to get y'all to anticipate what it might be like in the real world to deal with very complex moral situations. If you have not given any thought to what you would do in a situation like that, you're probably going to be somewhat caught off guard when that situation actually happens and you weren't prepared or expecting it. Does that make sense?
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Superheroes in general, and Spider-Man in particular, if you look at this whole metaphor of power and responsibility, what is a better way to start the discussion of how we should define what the powers of the criminal justice system are? It should begin with this notion of if we're giving people, other human beings, the power to intervene and control the lives of others for right or for wrong, shouldn't we at least have some type of discussion about a responsibility that goes along with using those powers wisely so that innocent people aren't hurt?
It's a really good class to take, and Dr. A is an amazing professor. Any class with him is found to be great. I think there's more to be drawn from comics and media in general than people really believe there is. Like, there are cases where maybe a superhero is faced with a decision to save one person's life or the lives of many people. This can be something that officers can face in real life, and so this is a real thing for people to consider, and we need to weigh options, consider everything we can.
I love it. I really am a fan of comic books, and it just so happened that he found a way to make one of my interests be with another one of my interests, which is protecting people. So it was right up my alley as a criminal justice major, and I really enjoy it.
Oh, boys in blue here! Yo, I got him! Free! He's not you and the Titans don't move!
Serious?
The reality is that the legal system does not always protect us the way that it should. And criminal justice professionals do not always act with the right amount of the best discretion or the right amount of good moral decision making. And so I think for opening up a discussion to try to create critical thinking skills within students, it might be helpful to use an example like Spider-Man to talk about vigilantism in general, to talk about the limits of how the law can protect us, and if the law can't protect us, what are the consequences for that? What are the consequences for individual citizens who want to take the law into their own hands because they perceive the criminal justice system is failing them? And so by using an example of a vigilante, we can have really intense and important conversations about what is the nature of the law itself, how does the law reflect public morality, and in situations where we don't feel the law is protecting us or doing what it should, how do we challenge that? And one of the great things about comic books is, in Spider-Man in particular, it allows us to do that in a relatively safe forum through a fictional character that is very metaphorical. And so we can have these very real discussions about very real things without offending people or without getting into territory where we're directly criticizing criminal justice system or we're directly criticizing the media or what have you. So I think it allows us the opportunity to have really important discussions in a safer environment that still get to the heart of why these discussions are important and the moral complexities of the things we're talking about.